On this week's episode, we are going to talk all about the 2026 Industrial Marketing Summit. We recently announced all of the speakers, and so we'll be walking through the program, the venue, what to expect, what it's like to attend, and give you the scoop on how you can save $600 by registering before October 15th. Let's do this.
Welcome to Content Marketing Engineered, your source for building trust and generating demand with technical content. Here is your host, Wendy Covey.
Hi, and welcome to Content Marketing Engineered. On each episode, I'll break down an industry trend, challenge, or best practice in reaching technical audiences. You'll meet colleagues, friends, and clients of mine who will stop by to share their stories. And I hope that you leave each episode feeling inspired and ready to take action. Before we jump in, I'd like to give a brief shout out to my agency, True Marketing. True is a full-service agency located in beautiful Austin, Texas, serving highly technical companies. For more information, visit truemarketing.com. And now, on with our podcast. Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Content Marketing Engineered. I'm joined today by Peyton Warren, my good friend over at Gorilla 76. She's the marketing director over there, and I'm super excited to have you on the show today, Peyton. Hello.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm very excited to be here on Content Marketing Engineered. Yay!
Yay! We see each other all the time on Zoom because we obviously our companies are co-hosting the Industrial Marketing Summit, and today's episode is all about that. One of our favorite subjects to talk about. I'm super happy about having you on and us sharing some of our favorite things and previewing the event. So it's going to be a good time. Before we get started, though, Peyton, perhaps you could tell our listeners and watchers a little bit about yourself and what you do at Gorilla.
Yeah. So, like you said, I'm the marketing director at Gorilla 76. That's kind of a newer role for me. I've been in the client operations capacity with Gorilla for a lot of my time there, but during the past 4.5 years I've been with Gorilla, I've been really spending a lot of time nurturing the manufacturing marketing community through lots of different venues. And they've all kind of taken shape into the Industrial Marketing Collective. It all started kind of as a webinar series back in 2020, and it developed into an online community that now has touched more than 2,000 marketers over the years. And really that experience and what we, felt and have seen business wise from it inspired Gorilla to dive deeper. And so when the opportunity came up with True to develop the Industrial Marketing Summit, we just felt like this is a natural evolution, and we wanted to be part of it. And I, muscled my way in to help organize the thing. And now the summit is going into its third year, and judging by its growth, I'd say that it's a conference that resonates a lot with this group. So very excited to be part of it. And it's been super fun to get to know Wendy and her crew over at True throughout it all.
Thank you. Yes, it's been a positive, wonderful collaboration. And I could tell our two agencies' cultures are just very symbiotic, if you will. So we have some fun over here getting this conference together. So let's just start with the basics. If someone has never heard of IMS, which I doubt by now, but say you haven't, what is the Industrial Marketing Summit and who is it for, Peyton?
Yeah, well, it's the go-to gathering for marketers that work in the manufacturing, engineering, and industrial sectors. So we call it Industrial Marketing Summit. Really it was built by Gorilla and True, as we've said, and the goal has been to deliver strategic insight, hands-on learning, and a true community for these marketers that are often on small teams or siloed teams. So whether you're a team of one or you're leading and scaling a marketing department, the conference is really an event that you'll come to and walk away from ready to market smarter, lead stronger, and impact your business however you need to, because the content that is there has been tailored to you and your situation as a B2B industrial marketer. So yeah, that's really what it is. But it's now a 3-day event. It's going to be in Austin again, which we have just really taken to be our home now. And yeah, we just can't wait to continue to grow the event. I mean, year over year, it's gotten bigger and bigger, and we've brought in more speakers and, higher profile keynotes. And it's just exciting to deliver that necessary value, I think, to the audience that shows up.
Yeah, and you can tell by the way this event has grown what kind of need was out there, right? And so in the past, we'd go to content marketing world, and we'd go to inbound and B2B marketing profs, and those are all wonderful events, but they didn't necessarily speak to this specific audience and the challenges that we go through working in these technical fields. It's very unique. So there's this layer there. And as you said, when we looked, we did a call for presentations, and the speakers that we selected and the topics that we selected were just really, really focused in this niche. And we were very particular about who we let through the door so that we could stay true to that and really get down in the weeds and specificity, if you will. And speaking of speakers, we just announced our speaker lineup. And of course, we had previously announced our keynote. So I guess maybe starting with the keynote, who's our big name that's going to anchor this whole thing?
Yeah, I'm really excited to have Rand Fishkin. He's a CEO, co-founder of Sparkturo and Snack Bar Studio, among a million other things that he has done in his life. And he's going to be up on stage talking with us about, I'm sure, SEO, zero-click content, and then how all of that is changing in the world of this new thing that we're hearing about, AEO, GEO, AI search, so I can't think of a better person to have up on stage when, this kind of new world is upon us with all this AI and all the tools that are out there now. But what I've learned personally, and I definitely tried to layer that in as we've been going through the programming and all the conversations with the planning, is like, what practically do we really need to have up on stage? And it's like these fundamentals that still ring true with search engine optimization and just content marketing best practices. And there's no one who's lived that better in a lot of ways than Rand himself. So very excited to just like hand the mic over to him and kick the event off.
Yeah, he's such a trailblazer and has always stayed very far ahead in terms of search strategy. And boy, we do this, as you know, Peyton, this research report every year, the state of marketing to engineers, and it showed that 60% of technical buyers spend their buyer's journey online before they want to talk to sales. And so it's so important that we figure out how to show up, not only to have the right things on our own websites, but how to show up in search, how to show up in these generative engines, as well as other places. So I think Rand was the right selection for that. And it's tough. We had Paul Raitzer last year from the Marketing AI Institute, and he's a tough act to follow, but I think Rand is up to the challenge.
Yeah, I think like the really cool thing that's just about the summit in general is like, I feel like it's just the community that keeps on giving sort of thing. Like once you've been a speaker or once you've attended in the past, it's like this network has really stayed stitched together
Yes.
in a really cool way. So I'm kind of excited to see like how I feel like the event builds on itself year after year because we have a good cohort of people that return. So I'm excited to see how we like continue to build on what we've learned from previous keynotes like Paul, and take it forward because all of that is still very relevant going into 2026.
Oh, heck yeah. And speaking of returning people, let's talk about the presenters because we have some returning presenters as well as new faces, of course. We did a call, like I said, a call for presentations. And I think we had somewhere near, how many submissions, Peyton? Was it near
Oh gosh, I
70?
think we had over
Mhm.
70
Wow.
submissions in that during that call period, and I was pleasantly surprised to have to go through that many
Yes.
submissions. And we also had some folks in mind just based on what we've been hearing and the feedback we got from our 2025 survey of
Mhm.
what sort of things would you like to hear more about, and we're very lucky that I think we've got some talented folks that have been just connected to this group for a while now. And so, folks like Jake Hall, the manufacturing millennial, he's coming back. An incredibly high rated session. And, what folks told us in the survey, they were like, we loved Jake. We just wish he had more time. Well, we're listening. We're giving him a longer session this year. And so we're very excited to have him back up on stage. Craig Coffey of Eaton. So we're pulling in folks who are um, you know coaches, but also folks in house who work in these roles and are like very much living the life of the average attendee. Craig is one of those folks. He's over at Eaton and content strategy and marketing manager there. Uh, he's coming back talking about gated content, which kind of came up as a very heated topic last year. So excited that he's done a lot of research to dig in on like what's really the right thing to do when it comes to gating content and requesting information. And he's going to talk about his findings and kind of how you can, apply that to your own company. Jim Mayer is coming back, another incredibly highly rated session that he had last year. And this year he's going to be talking about, a content engine that you can, fuel with your culture at your company and kind of just we're always looking for inspiration. Like I think a
Yeah.
marketer's biggest challenge is like, what am I going to create today to like, what am I going to keep saying? Or how do I keep saying the same thing, but differently? And Jim's going to talk about that. And then, a couple others that we have that are returning. I'm just thinking about Carla Gregory and Brittany McCall from Sumitomo. And they're coming back to talk specifically about attribution and ROI when you don't
Mm.
really have a clear data path, which I think is a challenge that I've heard time and time again
Oh,
from.
yeah. For both small and large companies, it's a challenge.
Yes,
Probably,
yes. I
probably
think
even
the
more of
larger
a
the
challenge, I
company,
think, as you get towards enterprise.
yeah, I think like the larger the company, sometimes the more like segmented the data can be. It's like kind of surprising. I think how disconnected you might have a lot of information, but it's not talking to each other in any way, or like, yeah, showing you like the full picture, like you wish it would.
Yeah.
And then, I cannot not mention Dale Bertrand. So he's coming back. This will be his third year with us, and we are just beyond excited to have him back up on stage. He has been talking about AI for the last 3 years at the summit. And not only is he going to have stage time during the summit, so if you buy like the regular pass, you'll see him at a session. But he's also going to be joining Gorilla and True to do a third workshop this year. So if you do purchase like the all access pass, you'll have access to those 3 workshops that are going to be taking place. And really excited for Dale to be able to like dive deep with attendees in that way, because everything that he's shared up to this point, and I mean, he's presenting, I think today at Inbound with HubSpot, like his star just continues to rise. And I think it's because of the quality of the content that he puts together and just how great of a teacher he is. So come study with Dale. I think that's the big call that you don't want to miss that opportunity for sure.
And what I love about Dale is he adopted us early on. I mean, I've known him for years, in the conference circuit or whatever, but he's an engineer by background. And so he has such a soft spot in his heart for this conference. He's worked with industrial companies before, so obviously has relevant examples, but he gets it. He gets us, he gets the personas we're trying to target. And so he does such a great job of getting into the weeds of how to do very technical stuff when it comes to AI and marketing. So
makes it very approachable.
Yeah. Okay. So what about some of the new faces we'll be seeing?
Yeah. Okay. So lots of new faces too. We got feedback that folks wanted more on product marketing and product launches as well. We're welcoming Katie Parlin. She's the Senior Director of Marketing at Flow International Corporation. And she's got a whole framework of how she typically rolls out products there at Flow. And so she's going to be talking us through her framework, build, promote, grow, and making sure that you can, take that, apply it, run with it from there. So really excited to have Katie join us. Another new face, Mandy Nguyen at Six Sensor Intelligence. She's been using Reddit there at Six Sensor to engage with engineers. And she's found success, and she's going to be talking about that program and how you can make the most of, what she calls a gold mine. And, I think a lot of folks would agree with her that it's just an under leveraged channel in so many ways. So we're excited to give folks, maybe an opportunity to explore a channel that they haven't yet with Mandy up on stage. Then we've got some folks who've attended in the past and who are coming in as speakers this year. So they see the type of content we're really trying to put together, and they've been challenging and learning these past 2 years and, applying some of these strategies. And I'm just really excited to see them continue to develop as marketing leaders, and excited to have folks like Josh Rosman up on stage. He's been doing some really creative marketing with kind of a cartoon, and he's going to talk about that. But it's not just about the cartoon. It's really about the idea of how to take a bold concept to just push your company forward in a way that you didn't think possible, or you try to unlock something that you maybe didn't have a way to get to before, and I think that creativity is really important. So excited to see Josh up on stage. And then we also have Emily Ting. She's going to be talking about channel marketing, like distributors. So her company, CCS America, Emily travels all over. She's based in America, but she's been in Japan with them. And so she's worked with them in a lot of different capacities. And one of the big things that she took on in the past year or so was revamping their distributor program. And they did so with great success. And so kind of wanting her to get up on stage and talk about that case study. And again, how you can apply these practical, what actually worked for a real company, for a real marketer in the B2B technical space. And then, okay, how can you apply it to yourself? So getting her up on stage too. Gosh, there's more. There's so many. We have so many new speakers. I'm just thinking about... so we have a little bit more of the AI conversation coming into Eric Sieberling. He's the VP of Sales and Marketing at MXD Process, and which I believe is a kind of a Ohio company as well. But he's going to be talking about using AI to drive full funnel growth in industrial sales. So nice. One of the most recommended, most requested topics has been on sales and marketing alignment, and how marketing can, play better with sales, increase their effectiveness together. And so we're really excited to have Eric join us to talk about that. And on the other side of, not just AI, but we also have one of just my favorite people, Luke Wittenbreaker. He's the marketing and sales director at MacTech, to talk about sales marketing alignment on kind of the other side of the coin, the very human side of the coin. And he's got a very tongue-in-cheek title for his session. If you see it, it looks like it says how AI changed, but it's actually how Al, a real deal sales rep, 65-year-old guy who, calls LinkedIn and Facebook for work, has worked hand in hand with Luke, and how they've collaborated to really find some success with how they market and sell MacTech's products and services. So excited for him to kind of get his humor on display and everyone get a taste of that. And there's so much more, Wendy. I don't know how much you want me to go into. I could just go on and on.
I mean, this was a very thorough teaser for sure. And I know the titles, abstracts, all of that is on the website. But I remember one of the comments last year was people were slightly frustrated in a good way of the quality of the programming and how we ran two tracks concurrently. And they said, oh man, I want to see both of them. And so to solve that, we had digital passes that basically were given to all of the attendees so that they got all the sessions. But even better, a lot of people are bringing in colleagues so that they could cover both tracks at the same time. So keep that in mind. If you're listening, you're thinking about coming, you might as well grab a colleague of yours so that you guys can tag team and get to everything.
Yeah, because the digital pass is not, it's not a virtual ticket. So it's not like you're getting to see it in real time. We're going to try and get those sessions. We're recording them in real time, but then we have to package them and, get all those recordings out and get them out to you. And shout out to our sponsor, Wistia, that's helping us do that. We're going to hopefully get those turned around within the first 2 weeks following the event. But yeah, definitely come with your notebooks. And I think that's what I definitely saw that in the survey too, Wendy, where folks were like, I just want to start applying this right now. And so, divide and conquer.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Peyton, we're moving venues this year, right? So you and I personally tag team this. In those who've been to Austin before, maybe you've come for South by or something like that. The Austin Convention Center has been bulldozed. So they're digging deeper and building higher. They're building a new convention center. So there's a lot of pressure right now for events downtown. So we're moving to Northwest Austin, which is a beautiful area. If you've ever seen pictures of Lake Austin or Lady Bird Lake, and there's this area that has what's called the Pennybacker Bridge. So it's this beautiful bridge suspended over Lake Austin. So we're going to be near that at the Renaissance Hotel. And our goal is to sell out this whole hotel, take every single hotel room. So we will be like it. It's to be industrial marketers gone wild. Inside this hotel, we'll have every room booked. It's going to be a blast. Are you excited about the area and the change, Peyton?
Yeah. I have family in Austin as well. And I just remember growing up, we would go, there's an ice cream shop, Amy's, right next to that hotel. And we would go to that ice cream shop and it's still there. And the ice cream's just as good. So I definitely got some of that when I was in town visiting. But the Renaissance is going to be absolutely stellar. We are still going to be catering the full event. So I think everyone, if you've come in the past, your expectations will continue to be met in terms of there's going to be plenty of food. It's going to be delicious. And you won't go wanting. But then now we're also in, like you said, the hotel itself has about 500 rooms. And like Wendy said, it's really going to be pretty full of just us. So we're super excited. They're going to be really accommodating. Restaurants and coffee shops there on site, and then everything that's walkable nearby. And the Pennybacker Bridge is really beautiful. If you want to see what it looks like and get a little taste, just industrialmarketingsummit.com, and it's our little hero image there, so you can see. And then, I mean, beyond that, so it's like we have the hotel block. So that link is already on the website if you want to go ahead and grab your room. And I would recommend it, even though, like I said, I think the hotel is going to be pretty much full of us. I know last year, we did run out of spots at the AT&T. So just go ahead and grab your room now and make that not even a worry. And then we'll be shuttling folks like we did in years past to our parties and stuff. But everything's going to be like, that's our base of operations. So if you want the easiest and most immediate access to the parties and happy hours and the sessions, just stay right there with us at the Renaissance.
There you go. Well, I talked to Jake Hall not long ago, and he said, "Hey, we want to make sure we get barbecue again and have sort of a pre-conference meetup, MEAT meetup, haha." And so we were talking about all the places around there to get barbecue, but I told him, okay, be sure to wait on the county line because that is where we're going to have our party. And I know you got to go pay a visit to County Line last time you were in town, and they treated you well. They had you had like a margarita tasting.
Oh yeah,
All
yeah,
sorts of things.
yeah. That was really nice. You
Yeah.
can't beat a spicy margarita. Yeah, County Line, super excited. It's going to be great. It's right on Lake Austin, which for me, not being from the area of Austin, I'm like, this is a lake. It looks like a river, but
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
very skinny lake. But you can feed turtles while you're there. That's great. But yeah, the barbecue is great. They'll have bars open for us. It'll be indoor, outdoor, and the last couple of years that we've been doing this event in Austin, we've had incredible weather in like the high 50s, low 60s. And we've been doing it in February in years past. This year, it's going to be March 3rd through 5th. So I'm really expecting it to be just kind of a little vacation from the cold north, and
It
come
will
down.
be. That time of year is so pretty. I mean, we're
Yeah.
usually 70s. Maybe we might even reach into the 80s. We'll see. It depends on the week.
Yeah.
March is all over the place. But
Texas can
yeah.
shock you, I guess.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, so we talked venue, we talked about the party, sponsors. So we have some sponsors that are helping us make this possible. Who is helping to support us right now, Peyton?
Yeah, so it'll be our third year with Cadina's USA playing a really large part in making this event possible. So we're excited to have them as a signature sponsor again. And then we also are adding to the lineup. I already mentioned once, but Wistia is coming on board as a signature sponsor. So we can't wait to kind of show the power of their video tool at the event, which you can already see on, again, industrialmarketingsummit.com. If you want to see a Wistia hosted video, check out the website there. It's right at the top, and it'll get you hyped up for the event. And then, a few others that we've got joining us this year, Build Create, a Texas-based firm, does web development and marketing activities too. So we're just super excited to have them come on board. And then lots of voices of industry that have been helping us spread the word about this event. Kurt, good friend at B2B Tail, helping us out yet again. We've mentioned the Manufacturing Millennial once already. And then Manufacturing Happy Hour. This will be Chris's third year supporting the event as well. So I just feel like, when you see a lot of the return attendees, return sponsors, these folks that go to so many events, specifically, like Jake and Chris with Manufacturing Happy Hour and Manufacturing Millennial. It's like they know quality because they see it. And I think it's great that they want to be part of it and they help us build the type of community that we want. And I'm sure that those two guys will be hosting, like you said, a meetup. I don't think there's enough. You can't never have enough barbecue.
And there's some award-winning places up in North Austin that we were talking about. So I won't reveal which place they're picking because I think they're still trying to decide. But we have a
Yeah.
good list going.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's still sponsorship opportunities available. So if someone's listening and they think their company would like to put their brand in front of this audience and it's a good fit for them, we're happy to meet with you. So send me or Peyton a DM on LinkedIn, and we'll send you the prospectus and we can talk more about that. So we'd love to have a few more people in the mix.
Yeah. It'd be great.
So Peyton, I know that sometimes people think about coming to an event and they're like, oh, but my company's only going to approve me to go. I can't go with anybody else and I won't know anybody. I've never been before. What advice do you have to that first timer coming to IMS?
Well, this community is just incredibly friendly and inclusive, I think. So if you are that solo marketer, just know that there's going to be a lot of other solo marketers showing up. So not a lot of buddy, like, oh, you folks are just lashed on to one person the entire time. We definitely get the crowd swirling as much as we can so you can meet new people and have those like icebreaker moments early on in the conference so that you don't show up at the first welcome reception thinking like, okay, I'm just going to stand here twiddling my thumbs. Like folks are going to walk up to you, ask about you personally, and also just what you're working on and, be genuinely interested. So I think that's just like the type of community that we have. So don't be afraid to show up on your own. But I think like it's also a great event to bring your team to because, the type of content, like it's different levels of folks and there's takeaways that everyone's going to have that are maybe a little bit different depending on your role or what you're working on and you see how you could apply it. So I think we will have the digital pass that, folks can access after. But I say this with our live webinar that we do. It's like there's almost like no replacing the chat. Like, so if you're not there live, you're not going to get a lot of those hallway conversations or like what you're filling up when you're filling up your coffee, chatting about something. And I think that's sometimes like the most fun part. And not only is this going to be a professional development, like just catapult for the start of your year in 2026, but I think you will make connections that, you'll be able to lean on and soundboard with these folks after the fact. We have an app. I haven't even mentioned that. We'll have an app that goes live about 90 days before the event and stays up for about 90 days after. And last year was our first year for that. And that's just totally shocked me at how much activity was happening on there on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So, you'll have opportunities to kind of get a taste for it and kind of get to know people even before the conference.
There was even,
starts.
I think, special groups that kind of like the barbecue thing that happened through the app. Like, hey, if anybody would like to meet up for lunch before it all starts. And
folks were like, hey, I want to go check out this bookstore. It was just a really cool way for, like I said, folks just got to know each other. And I think that's also a really cool thing about like these technical spaces is like, sure, like maybe some companies are like direct competitors, but like so many of like these technical engineering firms or manufacturing companies are so niche. It's almost like rare that you bump into a direct competitor that does exactly what you're doing. And like, so like just the knowledge sharing is so open. And it was like, you don't want to miss that.
You don't? No. So where can people go to find out more about IMS? You mentioned the website, so industrialmarketingsummit.com. There's an early bird registration running right now. When does that end, Peyton?
Early Bird is going to run through October 15th. And, folks have been asking me like, oh, do we got some promo codes? Do we have this? And yes, there will be some promo codes that come up over time, but nothing is going to get you as like early bird prices are the best prices that you will get. So don't sleep on them. If you think you're going to come, now's the time to buy. I think it's like a $600 jump to the standard tier of tickets. So jump in now and take advantage of the early bird pricing. And then, we'll jump up and passes will be available pretty much up until the event. But why not get the same for less?
Yeah, that's a big savings. So absolutely. Good. Well, any parting thoughts about the event? Anything else you want to share?
I'm just really looking forward to it. There's still more announcements to come. So I've talked about a lot of the sessions, but there's other speakers. The full abstracts, like Wendy said, are on the website. And so definitely check those out. We'll be announcing more sessions and the workshops later in September. So depending on when this comes out, but you should be able to see that before early bird closes for sure. And we're also still accepting sponsors. So if anyone hears this, you're thinking, I would really like to niche down my event strategy and really kind of connect with an audience in a way that we've never before. I think that Industrial Marketing Summit can be that environment for you. And we're excited to talk more with you about it. So definitely come hang out and get to know your fellow industrial marketers at the summit. Just super looking forward to it.
Me too, Peyton. Thank you so much. You're a wonderful event partner. I've had so much fun working with you these past few years doing this and can't wait for 2026. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for joining me today on Content Marketing Engineered. For show notes, including links to resources, visit truemarketing.com/podcast. While there, you can subscribe to our blog and RA newsletter and order a copy of my book, Content Marketing Engineered. Also, I would love your reviews on this podcast. So please, when you get a chance, subscribe and leave me your review on your favorite podcast subscription platform. Thanks and have a great day.